And welcome again to the Bunny Perspective. In honor of just barely getting over the cold, this month is March Medical Madness. Every episode during this month is medically relevant. You get it? Specifically, we're going to talk about 2 network shows over the next 4 episodes. Talking about the good and the bad. This week I'm talking about the first season of House. It's a good season, but not the best the show ever gets. And it's also a Fox show. So far I haven't had any nice things to say about the shows that this network horks out. Today I will change that. To a point.
All my friends are dead and they don't like me anymore. They moved along, they've changed, and now they find me quite a bore. Back then it was okay to be a little weird, but all my friends are dead and some have even grown a beard.
House is not really a deep show. It's what I like to call a popcorn show. You can pretty much catch any episode on USA at like 1 p.m. and not really miss out on anything. Sure, there is usually an underlying story, but most people watch it to see House save someone from an illness.
Guess we should start treating her for Wilson's.
That's what I do.
And that's fine. And honestly, you could do a lot worse from Fox.
I read your file.
You read my file.
I read your
You read
file.
my file.
I read your file. I read your file.
So what is House? For those of you under the rock, it is a medical show about a team of diagnostics doctors who every week solve a bizarre medical mystery.
What is a Department of Diagnostic Medicine?
They are led by the titular Gregory House. House is played perfectly by Hugh Laurie.
Who demand? I demand. I always suspected.
I sometimes question the writing of the show, but the character of House is generally a good one. The problem is just about every other character in the show.
Yeah, I suppose.
You're right.
You got problems when characters who show up for only 1 episode are more interesting than the 3 core cast members. Chase Foreman and the one that feels empathy because she's a fucking girl are the worst. You know what would have been more interesting than that? Making Chase the one that has all the feelings. Or even Foreman. And made her a cold, unfeeling robot. It's not like she can act.
I was just being glib.
Season 1 introduces us to the team. The team that will never go away, ever. They all get fired or quit in Season 3, and by the end of Season 4, they're all fucking back! Glee style.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby? Here we go.
House would have been better if it was him and Watson running around solving medical mysteries, like on a motorcycle with a cool sidecar.
Sure, I have nothing better to do.
I think that would have worked better in the 80s, though. Wait, did I say Wilson or Watson back there? See, that's the fun part about House. It's a modern take on Sherlock Holmes. Wilson is sort of the Watson to House's Holmes. Holmes. House. Holmes. House. Wilson. Watson. You get? They both solve mysteries and they both play music, though House is really actually gifted. The other difference is Holmes wasn't handicapped and House is. Part of House's character is that he is in constant pain that he tries to offset with drugs. And of course, Sherlock used opium, but, you know, for fun. Nearly every season has a subplot of House trying to cure his pain. All this stuff works for me. I even bought him cutting out tumors from his own leg. Anyway, it's not just a superficial thing. House is sort of the all-American Holmes. He's addicted to drugs, he is alien to normal people, yet needs them to filter his ideas through. Season 1 sets up all this really well.
I'm the big poobah, the big cheese, the go-to guy.
I don't think it's the best season, but it does have some of the best ideas in it. I mean, I really remember enjoying this show the first time I watched it. I think I've gotten jaded because, well, Season 1 feels like Season 8, and Season 7, and Season 6, and Season 5. Season 8 was easily the worst season of House, and from the pilot to the third to last episode, the format is solidified. The victim of an illness is shown getting said illness without the cast present. House is either in mid-shenanigan, dealing with the plot point, or being told about the case. Early on in the show, he resisted taking cases, but by mid-season 1, he was accepting a crazy case every week or so. We're shown the patient's plot points so that we can empathize and learn enough about them so that the episode makes sense. Sometimes this sucks, and other times it's better than anything else that's going on. House and the gang try repeated trials and medical treatments that usually fuck everything up. The patient goes from bad to nearly dead, and the symptoms are usually crazy, like seeing sounds or bleeding out of everywhere. House then has a realization, normally in mid-conversation, and usually related to something mundane having nothing to do with medicine, and solves the case. The only season that breaks this up is season 4, and is easily the best. More on that in this week's sermon, over there at that newfangled YouTubes that you kids seem to like so well. Anyway, besides that season and the rare and interesting episodes that break up the formula, every episode has these tropes. Season 1 is our main focus, and it does something that other seasons never really attempt. House has an antagonist.
Are you sleeping with House?
What? No.
But you did, right? Long time ago?
He takes the form of the chairman of the board, Edward Vogler, played by Chi McBride. Sure, Cuddy, the dean of medicine, throws hurdles in the way of House like an antagonist, but Vogler actively wants House to be taken down.
It's actually easier for me to get rid of a board member like Cuddy or Wilson than to get rid of a doctor. It's interesting, isn't it?
He only lasts the middle part of the first season, which is a shame. House is never really challenged by anyone around him, and he never changes. He's the same guy episode 1 to the last episode when he fucking fakes his own death. House is a jerk who is smarter than anyone else in the room, and he gets away with it because he's nearly always right. Gregory House is not a bad character, but I think he's pretty played out now. They spent 8 years over-explaining the guy. It might have been a lot better if it was a bit more mysterious with his background. I mean, seems to work for Doctor Who, right? House has a weak ensemble cast. I know people like Wilson and Cuddy, and I do too to a point. Ultimately, though, they are poor characters. Cuddy and Wilson act like petulant children compared to House, whining constantly. As modern retellings of Sherlock Holmes go, I'd stick with Sherlock.
The game, Mrs. Hudson, is on. Time to play. Oh, I am playing. The name's Sherlock Holmes and the address is 221B Baker Street.
It's way shorter and way, way better. So come back next time and we're gonna talk about the worst season of House, season 8, where they fuck everything up! Fox style.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung, you wanna pull up tough. You notice that butt was stuffed deep in the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. I'm tired of magazines saying flat butts are the thing. Take the average black man and ask him that. She gotta pack much back. So fellas, how's your girlfriend got the butt? Tell her to shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back.
Well, I mean, Fox style would be to cancel it and then pick it up after Adult Swim runs it for a while successfully, and then it'll get really boring. Ugh. That's a long analogy.
Oh, bye-bye.
That's some bad hat, Harry.